Maize out Mondays. Say it with your chest. Man, all yeah, nothing less.
Hey, that's smooth, Lich.
I like that beat. I'm about to freestyle.
Right.
Hey, I mean, I can cut the vocals out if you ever want to.
Let's get it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. My guy Mike Legend is here. Ron Embry is here. Detroit Wolverine 313 is here. Good evening, good people. It is I, the Maize Madman. I'm here with my guy.
Maniac.
And of course,
Your boy, Lich Max.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So here we go. Today, we got another exciting episode of Maize Out Monday, brought to you by the good folks over at Maize Out Sports. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Be sure to like this video, share this video with your friends and family in the social media sphere. Plus, if you're on mobile, hype the video. That way we get it to more people. That said, first things first, I pop a freak sword. No, okay. We got topics, all right. And the first one, we got a repeat of the live from yesterday. We got to talk about this one time for the one time because it seems as if our friends, our good friend, our dear friends over on the Ohio State side of the podcast world have been neglecting this here story, what might be the number one story in all of humanity right now. They would rather talk about smoking in a locker room and things of that sort. Maniac, I'm gonna let you kick it off. Ohio State still refusing to distance themselves from a predator. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is just disgusting work all around. You know, the Ohio State podcast community, I could tell they're getting upset. Oh, Michigan is making this about our football program, and they just diving so deep into this, just so they could prove that, Wexner, he's not our number one NIL donor. In fact, there's not even no paper trail of him even donating to the NIL. Let's stop the BS. Listen, no one is saying that this is tied directly to the football program of OSU. No, Ryan Day, whatever, none of these people got nothing to do with what's going on. Yes, but Wexner has donated large amounts of money to the football program, who benefited a lot by his generous donations, right? Mm-hmm. What we're saying here, I want to be clear. I was told that Michigan, the university, not just the football program, lacks integrity. That whole university lacks integrity. So we're like, wow, where's Ohio State at talking regarding integrity for their university? You have a university tied to the Epstein files. The biggest donor in your university, who has his name all over many buildings, is very good friends of Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I'm going to let you get deep into that, but the point still stands. Why is it that we got to say, guys, y'all not going to talk about this? And they act like it's something small. If you're going to compare a bogus sign stealing, that you call it the biggest scandal in college football history with no proof of Michigan cheating, because there has been no proof. No one has been able to prove that. That's one. And then you're going to compare that to a guy who was tied with someone who was trafficking children into pedophile, paying off an OBGYN so he could hush, not let these young females who was getting raped and molested But no, because it has nothing to do with our football program. Wow. Yes, Wexner does have something to do with your football program. And when Ono resigned as the president of the University of Michigan, you guys, OSU podcast, said, "Oh, he sees what's coming. He sees it coming. The hammer's coming. He's leaving." No, he's the president of the university. He's not the president of just Michigan football. That had nothing to do with football, but y'all made it about it. So why is it that us Michigan fans bringing it up? This is a made up story. These are all facts. Now your rebuttal is, but it has nothing to do with football. And it's disgusting. It's like hearing about your neighbor getting raped, a female, and you say, well, I don't care because that wasn't my sister. Really? Really? Just a dirty program all around. I'm not sitting here saying Michigan is innocent. We did what we did. And listen, none of these people are affiliated with Michigan anymore. But Wexner still is affiliated with OSU. So that's all you need to know when we're talking about both programs.
No doubt. Lich, you got anything for this?
Yeah. So here's the thing. Even if he had, since we have proof that he's associated or friends with Epstein. Like, if it's found out that he was engaged in anything that he did, and the university still decides to go forward with a relationship with him, I haven't looked into it, so I don't know if it has this come out, whatever. But fact of the matter is, if he is still associated with the university, with that if that proof ends up coming out, I don't know if we can ever see Ohio State, the university as a whole, as have any kind of respect for them as an educational institution at all, realistically, because that's showing what they value more, which is money, regardless of where it comes from, than the integrity of their institution. And that shows more about Ohio than it does about Michigan, because from my knowledge, we didn't take money from anyone associated with them. And even if we did, I have a good opinion on the matter of thinking that if Michigan found out that someone that donated to them was associated, they would completely disavow that particular person. I don't think we would continue a working relationship with that person if we found out somebody who donated was involved. That's the end of my thought. That was very all over the place.
Yeah,
because we ain't gonna bring it. We ain't gonna bring this up again. We're not Buckeye school.
I don't want to spend a lot of time on this either today. We talked about it, whatever. Maniac and Lich didn't have a chance to speak on it. They spoke what they needed to say. Shout out to Seth, though, who is a friend of the show, has been a friend of the show for a long time. Here's the thing. I hear what you're saying here with Whoopi Goldberg. Other people outside of just Whoopi were brought up, and maybe it's not as big a deal. At least it hasn't been in the public eye, right? Because Whoopi, like you said, is still a host on whatever show that is that you're referring to. And I am a fan of due process. If you saw me yesterday, I am a fan of due process. However, we've seen time and time again in these situations where there's a university or even in professional sports, right? There's somebody connected with that team, that program, that university in this case, that those universities and teams and programs move quickly to disassociate themselves with people like this, because it's better to be wrong and be on that side, right, than or it's better to be right, or I'm sorry, I'm mixing up myself. It's better to be wrong and have already disassociated yourself when in reality, if it comes out that Wexner is completely innocent of any wrongdoing, then you can probably mend that relationship. However, if not, and you wait until the 25th hour, then I think more judgment, more people are looking at you with the side eye. That said, there has been evidence, and Wexner himself talked about Jeffrey Epstein having access to his fund, to his money, basically, to fund the things that happened on that island and other places. So there is the connection between the OBGYN, Wexner, and Epstein. These are just facts, right? We can't get around those things. So as much as we want to say due process and all of those things, what we already know is pretty damning. But I'm with you, and we will move on, by the way, because this is we've spoken about it. We're not gonna beat a dead horse. We did need to address some other podcasters in the podcast world. We did that. We move on.
Yeah, and it can get pretty hot if we linger on it too long.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, there was a basketball game played Washington, D.C. between Michigan and Duke. Similar story. By the way, you know when I knew Michigan was going to lose this game? When it was reported before the game that they were all wearing black socks. I said, that didn't work out for those other guys who did this when they played this team. Why would you wear the black socks against this team? But I digress. Maniac, who is a Duke basketball fan, talk to us about what you saw from your perspective.
Yeah. First of all, it was a great game. As you know, I didn't trash talk. You know, we in the group chat. I didn't even mention nothing when we won. I just didn't say anything. It wasn't until Johnny mentioned it yesterday, because I understood that regardless, Michigan is a great team, and Michigan can definitely still win the national championship. And me being a Duke fan, we're kind of like at times Ohio State in basketball, bro. We underachieve with so much talent. And I've been and it's the facts. I'm cocky, and time again, we lose in the tournament. Either we choke or we lose to a better team. But anyway, this is about the Michigan Duke game. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. I was on Facebook. I have Facebook, and I follow a lot of Michigan pages, because I'm a Michigan football fan, but they also basketball fans. And man, I'm like, damn, why am I hearing Michigan fans talk greasy about a team I like didn't sit well. We're going to blow them out. Like, we were being disrespected by a lot of Michigan fans. Like, this was an easy win. There was even a guy, Underwood something, he's on Twitter, but this Duke guy that I follow, he screenshotted it. He was like, we're going to beat, I wish this game was in Cameron Indoor. We win it. Like, he was just talking. And then when the game was over, the typical excuse made by so many fans, and I hate it, and it's a tiring and a lazy take, the referee. Yeah. I hate that shit. It was a fist fight. It was a fist fight for both teams. Could have gone either way. Duke made the plays down the stretch. Now, I would say the only thing I didn't agree with, and I said, damn, we did get away with, is that goaltending. That wasn't goaltending. I keep it real. One thing, I'm going to keep it real. That wasn't a goaltending, and that put Duke up by 3. So, what happens if that doesn't get called? So it's a tough game. I think what Duke did very well was, one, rebounding. They made sure we're going to match them, the aggression, and we control the boards. And Shire putting Sarr on Cadeau. Sarr's like 6'2", 6'3". Right. Cadeau is small.
Long wingspan. I think he got like a 6'7" wingspan.
Yeah. Correct. So the thing is, the point guard is the quarterback on the basketball court. Right. You mess him up, you mess his rhythm up, it's kind of hard to get things going. It starts with the point guard. So the fact we was able to just contain Cadeau and really have him have a bad game. Now he's 0-4 against Duke. We beat him 3 times last year. Right. But it was a game that could have gone either way. If I'm a Michigan basketball fan, I wouldn't take much from this. Of course, it sucks to lose. Nobody want to lose, but you guys are good, and I still think Michigan's going to make a deep run in the tournament.
Yeah, real quick, because we got some comments on this one. This one's going to be spicy. Shout out to Dexter Green. He says, I knew it was over when I saw the second foul called on Mara. Yak used to be my favorite. No mas. Yo, shout out to that. Rip loves grape soda. Shout out to Rip. Hit the like button. Definitely do this. Hit that like button. Seth says that was probably the most inconsistent officiated game I've watched in a long time. It was going to be a close game regardless, but that was bad. Absolutely, all players stopped because there was a foul and no call. That is a fact. Cameron Boozer fouled Morez Johnson Jr. Everybody stopped, and it wasn't called because that would have fouled Cameron Boozer out. He promptly, after that foul, goes on a personal 7-0 run. I'm pissed off about it. We'll talk about it in a second. Mike Legend says 4 Wolverines win gold in hockey. That's a fact. Golf claps for that. Shout out to Michigan hockey and shout out to USA hockey. They did what needed to be done against Canada. Dexter Green again. Kaysen got mugged 3 times in one play. I'm not mad at it. By the way, I got some things. I got an opinion on Kaysen too. I'll save it for a second. JOJ says should have benched Cadeau for Kaysen. Okay, I'm not mad at that. Cadeau was out there stinking it up. It was horrible officiated. I'm not saying that's why Michigan lost, but it had 3 Stevie Wonders out there. Could have done better. That's a fact. Shout out to my guy Ito.
More fouls called on Duke. I'm just saying. More free throws shot by Michigan. I'm just saying.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
Did they hire the KC Chiefs officiating staff for that game or something?
Yeah, I knew it. Now listen, it is what it is. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this. I've watched many Duke games, and you hear that a lot. Duke gets all the calls, bro.
Yeah.
I can go to many games where Duke got done filthy. Sometimes and what happens if the officiating goes your way in the final 4 in the game? What y'all gonna say? Oh, we only won because of the officiating? No, you're not gonna say that. It happens. And remember, so it is what it is. I know a lot of Michigan fans is upset, and like I said, I'm not here. I'm not going. I like Michigan basketball. That's why I'm not talking shit. But like I said, you guys are still in the tournament. You're still gonna be a number 1 seed. Listen, hopefully we see each other in the tournament.
Right. Real quick, shout out to my guy E. Thanks for the $5. He says 8 on 5 was tough. That's
come on, E. Yo, E. Stop it, E. Yo, E. Is E gonna be at the spring game this year again?
Oh yeah, talk to us. EU at the spring game. We out there. We're gonna get to that too in a second. Torrance Jones says Duke kept Michigan shooting outside the perimeter pretty much all night, and they've kept closing the gaps quickly in the paint. Michigan never adjusted after the half. That's a fact. I can't lie about that. Listen, this is my beef though. I got beefs with a couple of people. Cadeau was clearly on the take. What was that, Elliot Cadeau? Help us.
And I'm dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his ass.
Elliot Cadeau will pay for his war crimes against the University of Michigan. Secondly, Kaysen. I see people saying we should have benched Cadeau for Kaysen. I got beef with Kaysen too. He wanted to be a hero out there. He was going one-on-one. You saw he tried to go one-on-one with the center who promptly ripped his ass. Stop it. Play basketball the right way. Pass the ball. Thank you. Outside of that, though, you were right. I thought the goaltending was a trash call. And by the way, they barely looked at it. They went and glanced at that screen. They said, "No, that's right." Go ahead.
Yeah, that was dirty. I get a lot. That I 100% agree. That was dirty.
Yeah. But I am also not going to give Michigan the pass because in the second half, Duke made adjustments. And I got to give Cameron Boozer credit because he closed the game. Whereas Yazel Lindenborg, he got out the gate quickly. He was all over him early, 16 points in the first half. But he did not finish the game the way Boozer finished the game. And in basketball, you definitely want to close better than you start. And I got to give Boozer that credit. He closed the game. So there's that. Matt, Liz, what you got?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. I won't lie. I'm not really a huge basketball fan, so I didn't actually watch the game. But what I will say is the blanket statement that Michigan should have won, as they always should, every sport.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Michigan, speaking of Michigan and that game, there's new AP rankings. Gentlemen, Duke is your new #1 overall team in America.
And
No surprise there.
what's crazy, looking at this season, I'm gonna be if I don't know how big of college basketball fans everyone here is. Last year, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I said I wasn't gonna watch Duke this year, and you're like, why not? Last season, we had a squad. We had a national championship team. In the Final Four, we were the better team versus Houston. For the last minute and 15 seconds, we could not inbound a basketball. And we lost that game. That was one of the worst losses in the history of Duke basketball. And then Shire, this is how I know this guy is the real deal. Guess how many transfers he brought in, Maize?
3.
Just 0.
Wow.
0 transfers. He brings 3 guys off the bench and 2 freshmen to start.
Yeah.
And we're and not because I'm a Duke fan, we should be undefeated. We had Texas Tech by 18 at one point in the Garden. In the Garden, we end up blowing that game. We lost by 1. We was up by double digits at halftime to North Carolina. They just, and mind you, you want to talk about refs? In that North Carolina game in the second half, 1 whistle blown on North Carolina. 1 in 20. Come on, guys. But I didn't bring that up. We need to play better. So, listen, Duke could easily be undefeated. But, again, this shit don't mean nothing. The tournament is what it matters. So, again, if I'm a Michigan fan, bro, just worry about the tournament, bro. This Duke game it don't mean shit right now.
Yep. Shout out to Seth. He says Duke loses to Middle Tennessee in the first round.
Yo, it can happen. Seth, I seen it. I seen, bro, we lost to Bucknell. No, not Bucknell. We lost to
Butler.
Damn, what was that point guard's name? He played for Portland.
I'm upset. Absolutely. I'm pissed too, man. we upset about it, bro. We're not letting that go.
Win the big. First of all, cook Michigan State ass again in basketball because they swear they the cream of the crop of the Big Ten. I'm tired of hearing Michigan State basketball bust their ass again and then bust their ass again in the Big Ten tournament. Make it 3-0 versus those bums.
Right. Yeah, I'm with that 100%. Poor little bro them. Shout out to E. He said I'm definitely at the spring game. We pulling up, E.
Yo, E, come to the crib, bro. You can chill.
We'll give you that. I got your number. We'll give you the details. By the way, speaking of that, let's get this out the way. Speaking of that, the spring game reminder. We will be live at the spring game Friday and Saturday. We are in Ann Arbor. Unfortunately, we can't stay as long as we did last year. But Friday night, big night Friday night, we'll have players on the team actually come to the Stadium House, live interviews. You will be able to interact with those players. Also, there are still 2 spots left in the Stadium House. The Stadium House is, of course, where we will be along with the rest of the Michigan Avengers, including Johnny Oden Jr., TJ Ronan. In fact, I think that's it. No John Diadamo this season. John's got work, and he won't be able to make it. So it's TJ, myself, Maniac, JOJ, with 2 more spots open. We will get to how you can get one of those spots here in a second. But Maniac, what's up?
Yeah, no, definitely. Someone put in the chat, Lehigh, McCullum cooked us.
Oh, yes, it was.
That was DJ. That was Austin Rivers year. I remember that. So listen, losing to middle Burger King Tech, yeah, it can happen. No, but listen, man, the spring game. We, again, man, this is the opportunity, for us to engage with a lot of you guys who support the channel, which we appreciate it, man. Honestly, And the stadium house, like my brother just mentioned, yo, it's nothing but cool vibes, bro. We had a great time last season. We expecting this time to be even better. Even if you can't make it, you're just gonna come to the spring game and then you gotta shoot back. Hit us up, man. We'll chop it up. We'll take some pictures and make sure to shout you guys out the following Monday. Because that's what we're here for, man. We're here for our fellow Michigan fans, and it gives us the first look of Whit and his staff, and a glimpse of hopefully what to see in September.
No doubt, no doubt. Lich Max is going to be at the spring game, right?
As far as I know right now, that is my plan.
Yo, right. Don't drive the truck into the stadium, bro.
No, drive the truck.
No, if I'm gonna drive the truck into any stadium, I'm gonna go through Columbus first.
Let's go. Right. Be there or be square. By the way, you'll get your chance to meet Lich Max. That's enough
you'll get
right there.
You'll get my live Lich picks for the spring game. Who's gonna show out?
Lord.
Who's gonna falter? Which team's gonna win?
Ooh.
Lich lost a lot of people a lot of money this year.
Hey, I also worked out a couple picks too. So
no doubt.
Oh, you're gonna do Lich picks for the spring game?
Why not?
Okay, I like that. No, I like that. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna assume. Hold on, Maize. They're not gonna implement the draft. I think that was more of the old regime.
Yeah. That was like a Jim Harbaugh thing, right?
Yeah, I think this is gonna be more traditional.
Yeah,
the first offense
versus the
first. Yes, the ones versus the ones, the two. Okay, yeah. Because I'm eager to see. I'm eager to see how the offense look, man, and how Bryce, bro. Because
Bryce,
bro.
We'll get to that in due time. I'm sure, but Bryce needs to take a massive step, and I'm sure he will. He's got the talent to do it. Let's. It all comes down to the coaching and what is in Bryce at this point. So we'll see what happens. Let's talk about this real quick, man. These new. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm real interested to see how that defense is gonna look now that we have a whole new scheme being implemented from the old wink system coming into this new system. Really interested to see what that's gonna look like.
Yeah. There's a person. Okay. I don't know if anybody got like a Blink doorbell or Ring doorbell.
Yeah, I do.
All right. So one of the things that bothers me now about it, right, is like with AI that now they telling you things like about like what's going on outside or whatever, right? So it used to just be like there's motion at your front door. Now it says there's a person walking by your front door. Like there's a cat that comes to my deck at night, from time to time, and the joint will say, "There's a dark figure on your deck," and I'm like, "Yo, what?" You know what I mean? Got you like tripping out, bro. Just say there's motion at the back.
That's it.
That.
I haven't seen it. It's through my wife. Well, it's different. I live in an apartment building, so the neighbor and stuff. It is say I don't know if it's exactly giving us that. Saying that I have to ask her because it's through her phone. She has it through her phone. But we also have it here at her mother's place too. They have a ring.
Yeah, that cat is a skinwalker. Clearly, bro.
Yo, he was sent by Ryan Day's brother.
Absolutely, man. Hey, all right, let's talk about these rankings real quick. Duke moved up to number 1. Arizona, who beat I believe the number 2 team in Houston, moved up to number 2. Michigan dropped to number 3. Iowa State and Houston round out that top 5. That sound right?
Yeah, that's good. Mind you, Iowa State lost to BYU this week. So they didn't really I find that kind of odd that they're 4, but okay.
Yeah. UConn, who coming into the season, I'm not gonna lie, I thought was the favorite to win the national championship. They brought back a lot of talent. They got some talent. UConn is a team to look out for. They're at number 6 right now, followed by Florida, Purdue, Gonzaga, Illinois. By the way, there was somebody in here who said that they think that Florida's going to make a deep run. I think it was Gigi said that Florida's going to make a deep run. What you think about this group?
Yeah, that's good, man. If I'm not mistaken, bro, you guys be in. Have y'all played Illinois yet, or y'all about to play Illinois?
We about to play Illinois. About to play. Okay. I think we also play. Did Michigan play Illinois already?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I know you guys beat Gonzaga like by 40. Y'all dismantled them, and then y'all went. Yeah, y'all beat what's his name? Y'all beat Purdue. So right now, y'all got Michigan and Duke is tied. We both got 2 wins within the top 10. We beat Michigan and we beat Florida early this year, Big Ten SEC Challenge. You guys beat Purdue and Gonzaga, and y'all got Illinois. We have Virginia left and UNC left as far as ranked teams. So we still got 2 ranked games left.
Shout out to my guy Dexter Green. He said we have not played Illinois yet. So yeah, it's about to go down though. I know that for sure. And by the way, it just sounds crazy listening to Maniac say y'all when referring to Michigan. I'm not gonna get used to it. But all right, let's go. By the way, the teams in the second tier here, 6 through 10, you think all of these teams can win a national championship?
Yes, bro. Listen, every single team in any tier can win the Natty or make a deep run. This is what makes college basketball. Yeah. What makes the NCAA tournament the best postseason of all sports is because of that. Like, we say in college football, we're going to get into it. 12 teams can't win the Natty. In college basketball, 12 teams can absolutely win the Natty. If they get hot at the right time, oh, yes, it can.
Yeah, we saw what happened with UConn. Remember that UConn team got hot?
Yeah.
They ran through the Big
This
East.
dude, Kemba Walker.
Kemba Walker went crazy. Big East tournament.
Bronx native.
No doubt. And then, of course, the NCAA tournament. That team was low-key. They had some talent on that joint. Was that a Mecca Okafor or was that a...
No, Okafor was 04. They beat my team in the Final Four. They beat Georgia Tech in the Natty that year. Yeah, it was that team. It was Okafor. It was Ben Gordon. It was Josh Boone. It was Charlie Villanueva. Bro, they were loaded. They beat
Ben
everybody.
Gordon was nice too.
Who?
Ben Gordon.
Oh, not Ben. And you saw what ended up happening to him, right?
Nah.
Bro, he got real deep into the mental issues, bro. He was out here homeless. Yeah, he's from Mount Vernon, which is like 20-minute drive from the Bronx to Mount Vernon. And bro, he was homeless. They had him in the mental. It was sad to see, bro. He was doing good with the Bulls too, man. He had some good years. Man.
I remember that. I remember he was still there, like Derrick Rose's rookie season.
Yeah.
And I remember in that series against Boston, which is a classic, by the way, first round series. He was going shot for shot with Ray in that series. All right, but anyway, let's not get too bogged down with that. Shout out to AT said that's so sad. It is, man. Ben Gordon was definitely a good player. Dallas fans showed up. Is Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love the best player in the upcoming NFL?
You know what? We entertain him. Let's entertain my man Dallas fan, aka Notre Dame fan. Everybody knows
as Johnny would call him.
Did Love win a Heisman?
What called him again? Oh, bot. Notre Dame bot.
Right.
He's the number one troll in social media, man. I give him that. I gotta respect that. But being biased aside, I think Jeremiah Love, prospect-wise, is the number one running back going into the draft.
I agree with that.
That could change, but now he's a first-round pick, so I don't know. And he's going to be the first running back off the board, without a doubt, in April.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. In fact, now here's the thing, though. I don't know if he was the best running back in terms. Well, yeah, he was the best running back on his team, obviously. But the other dude got a lot of production. Go ahead, Lich.
Thanks.
I was gonna say, like, if you want to, if you can't say best player because there are better players, but when you
Yeah,
boil it down to position groups,
yeah,
running back wise, I would be inclined to agree that he is the best running back prospect in the draft. If you want to
correct.
talk players, there are I'm sure there are plenty of people above Love, but he's definitely in up there. But I would definitely be inclined to agree that he is the best running back prospect in the draft this season.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Shout out to Seth, bro. Has anyone seen Nebraska play? I've never seen that many white dudes on the floor at once. Hey, bro.
I, I didn't know
No,
we
no,
still I didn't know we still played basketball. I thought we gave that
no,
up.
no. I mean, yo,
Yo,
Seth. No, Seth. What's my man's name that played for BYU? He was like the white Seth Curry, Jimmy Fredette,
Jimmy
for
Fredette. Oh
yo
yes,
that
bro.
BYU team. That they that's why it was. It was
Hey,
and no,
Fredette was nasty in
yo,
college.
he
I
was a
can't even front.
beast. He'll pull up, makata, and
He
he'll
was
take
pulling
off
up
the
from
dribble.
40.
Yeah, yeah, there was.
Yeah,
But Nebraska's a solid team. You know, they're a team that you don't want to see them on your side of the bracket. You
yeah, I
know, you
agree with
like,
that.
dang.
I agree with that.
Man, I can't wait, man. I can't wait for the tournament. That's
Hey,
what about 2 more weeks.
they
I'm
calling
a
you a
double.
double agent, bro. It's,
Yo, E,
it's
I love.
crazy.
Listen, I told you I mess with y'all basketball, bro. It just, you know, is I'm a dookie.
Yeah.
Well, we know that for sure. You are in
Yeah.
fact a Dookie.
PG said Illinois got 5 Europeans and no defense. Yo,
Yeah.
shout out to that. All right, let's move on. What we got next? I don't know how to get this thing off the screen.
The proposal, the
There we go.
24 teams.
Yeah, yeah. Here we go. Big Ten has proposed 24-team college football playoff. Ladies and gentlemen, before we talk about it, let me read what is being proposed here. They are proposing a 23-1 selection model, which would sound something like this. The Big Ten, there's an internal document that ESPN somehow got a hold of and says, while the document presents nothing formal or official in terms of future CFP playoffs, it does begin to unpack the vision. All right. And that vision is the idea has increased in conversation among other coaches and athletic directors in the Power Four. Internal document begins by offering a potential timeline desired by the Big Ten, which wants the format to grow to a 16-team playoff for 2027-28. The document indicates the move to 24 for no later than 2029, which would then run through the end of the current CFP contract, which goes through 2030-31. Now, before I go any further, this is obviously being done or being proposed to get more money, right? That's what it's always about. In the proposed 16-team format, there would be 5 automatic qualifiers and 11 at-large teams. An idea that has been widely discussed. 2 top teams would get buys in the opening games. Number 16 versus number 13 and number 14 versus number 15 will be played on the second weekend in December, likely sliding around the annual Army-Navy game. There will be 6 second-round games. 6 second-round games on campus and 4 quarterfinal games at traditional bowl locations, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. What do you think about the 16 team first?
Yeah, that's just it's ridiculous at this point. And unfortunately, I think it's going to happen. I'm pretty sure 16 is I think realistic. 24 might be a push, but I could 100% see 16 teams because at the end of the day, these people making these decisions don't need to play the game. They just
Right.
sitting back collecting checks. So
Right.
yes, more money for us. Say no more. More ratings because all this is going to be, you're going to have schools that have absolutely zero chance of winning the Natty make the playoffs. So,
Right.
imagine the James Madison last year. What? We're in the college football playoffs. That game alone, the ratings were, I'm pretty sure, 90% James Madison fans. We knew the outcome, but the fact that they were in the playoffs. So I don't like it, man. And that all that means is you either shorten the regular season, which they're not going to do because, again, it's about money, or you eliminate championship games, which that might be a possibility.
It sounds like that's what they want to do in the 24 team format, by the way, is eliminate championship
because
games.
what at one point, Maize, do we start the season mid-August?
Right.
You know, it's going to extend, and then again, the college football playoffs kind of crash with the NFL playoffs, and it's like a headache, man. And there's too much, to me, space in between one game to the other, and I think the whole nation feels like that because I've seen many tweets, many people on Facebook as well mention that. So I'm not with it. I think 12. I think 8, to me, 8 is perfect. I think 12 is a little bit. I think don't go past that. But 16, no bueno for me.
Lich, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I'm kind of with Maniac on most of it. The only thing that I would kind of like branch off of is I think that if they're going to continue to raise it, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't just go to 24 because they already do the poll to 20 to 25. So you might as well, like, if you're going to rank the top 25, you might as well implement them into the playoffs at that point because you're saying these are the best teams in the nation. Why shouldn't all the best teams in the nation be competing for a championship? You know, so I mean that would make sense to me.
Excellent
But
point.
at the same point, like I also don't think at the end of the day that any team past the top 10 realistically has a chance at a natty anyway. I mean, you do have some outliers that come in from behind, but it's not very often that happens. And 9 times out of 10, the natty winner is gonna be in the top 10, one of those top 10 teams. So the rest of it is just basically showboating, but at least it gives teams that normally wouldn't see the playoffs the opportunity to say, "Hey, I was in the playoffs." You know, at least I was there. Participation trophy. You know.
Yeah. So for me, I think, and I got to go back to what my man Mike Legend saying here. He's saying there's not 12 teams that can win a natty, right? And I think Lich alluded to that too, saying that past the top 10, is there even, heck, we're stretching it with 10 teams that can win a national championship, right? So because I don't necessarily believe every year that there's 10 teams that can win a natty. So anything past 12, honestly, is kind of crazy. Then you're talking about 16, but this is what we do know for sure. They're not going backwards, right? They're not going to go from 12 to 8 because you're losing a round and another round of money. They're not going to do that, right? So we are looking to go forward, if anything, or stop at some point, please. I remember a time not too long ago where they were hemming and hawing about a 4-team playoff, right? They wanted the old BCS joint to stay around, and then that 4-team playoff, came around, and they saw the money. Eyes got big, stomachs got bigger, and everybody had their hand out. And now it looks like that it's just out of control now. And for the Big Ten to propose a 24-team playoff is kind of crazy. Now, what Lich said does have some merit. If we're going to rank teams to 25, why not have the top 24, 25 teams play each other for a national championship? At this point, I just think if that's the case, start that from the beginning of the season, right?
Yeah.
Now, that will never happen because the potential for you to lose the first game and be out of the playoffs and not get any more football revenue, they would never do that. But, it is at this point just getting kind of crazy, bro. Like 8 teams, I think would have been perfect. They just skipped over that entirely, and they went straight to 12. 16 teams, I think, is too much. 24 is absolutely ridiculous. But let's talk about the 24. Let's get to that. The 24 team playoff would consist of the 23 best teams and one spot for the group of 6. There would be no automatic qualifiers, which have been a point of emphasis for the Big Ten and CFP discussions last year. If the field grows to 24, sources have indicated that automatic qualifiers would matter less to the Big Ten no conference playoff games in that format too. They just saying the top 23 teams, y'all all go to the playoffs, and then we get one of those group of 6 teams to be a whipping boy for somebody. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar to the 16. If I don't like 16, 24, man, oh man. You're just putting more stress on these players, man, and these coaches as well, man, because the mental preparation, the physically preparation you got to put into, preparing for these games. And these are playoffs, right? This is do or die. So I'm pretty sure a lot of these coaches don't get much of sleep during this time. So, it's just tough, man. I don't think it's the right thing, but I can see it happening. Definitely, I can see it happening because it's a greedy. We saw that with the whole conference realignments in basketball and in college and football. So it's not about oh, let's make things easier for them. It's like, no, let's make money. Like, who would have thought Washington, USC, Oregon, UCLA in the Big Ten, where there's mainly just teams from the Midwest? There's a couple of them on the East Coast. Remember, Rutgers wasn't part of the Big Ten. They were part of the Big East, right?
Mm-hmm.
So was Maryland. Maryland was part of the ACC, right? And then they joined the Big Ten. And so was Nebraska part of the Big 12. So just leave it alone, man. But we understand that we live in a capitalist country, and the only thing that matters is the dollar bill. And college football is probably the most watched sport, regular season through the playoffs of any sport, right? Arguably, not saying that it is. So numbers don't lie, man. If they can make more money, they're going to do it. So that's a no for me.
That's a fact. Lich, what you think about 24 teams, 23-1?
I mean, like I said before, if you're going to rank the top 25, then you might as well have them compete for a natty, But at the end of the day, I do agree that it's way too much. I think we should have just stuck at 8. I think that would have been that's like the perfect number. But if we're with 23 plus 1, basically bye week is what it is. It does offer more opportunities for one of the other 23 teams to potentially cause an upset in the playoffs. Like, it's very rare that does happen, but it's not unheard of that it does happen, that a team makes it in when they weren't supposed to, and then ends up winning out. It's possible for that to happen, and I think having that many teams offers more of a chance for teams that ordinarily wouldn't be competing for an Addy to compete for one, even though 9 times out of 10 we're not going to see anyone outside of the top 10 winning the Natty. It'd still be interesting to see how these teams play when the spotlight's put on them, rather than them just seeing their ranking below the top 10 and going, "Oh, well, we're done."
Yeah,
it'll be great to see that fire in them when they're in the playoffs. Granted, most of it's going to be participation trophies, but it'll be a good spectacle nonetheless. And like you said, the ratings are going to be great, and it's going to be a lot of revenue for college football.
Yeah,
but eight's perfect.
So the positive that I see potentially out of 24 teams is this: there are going to be some matchups that you never see, right? You'll get to see, I don't know, Michigan, Louisville, or Michigan, Florida State. Well, we've seen that, but I'm just saying we don't see those often, right? Michigan, right. Whoever else, right? Or anybody, not just Michigan, right? You name the team, and the other team that they'll play. So we'll get some matchups we don't normally see, but I still think it'd be a pound of flesh to a lion in a bunch of these games, right? There's going to be a rib cage basically being served up to Tigers or whatever. So I'm not a huge fan of 23. I'm not a fan at all of 23, actually, the 23-1 model. By the way, another caveat in that model that I didn't talk about, in addition to no conference championship games, they would have a committee basically who is tasked with the job of making sure there are no first round rematches. So if two teams played during the regular season, then they wouldn't play in the first round of these of that playoff. So there's that. But I do think for the most part, it seems like everybody is out on 23. But here's the thing, and I think AT brought this up. Aaron Taylor brought this up. It doesn't really matter what they put out there. We're going to watch it. Right? They say 24 teams is out there. Everybody's tuning in to the 2014 playoff. It is what it is.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the next topic, put up Seth's comment regarding the transfer portal.
Oh yeah. Thought of it.
Sanita. Yeah, and that's great, man. I'm glad he brought that up because I think we all know the transfer portal has become the wild, wild west. Like, you got guys playing for like 15 teams like in 2 years. Like, it's just ridiculous. And there has to be a cap. There has to be a system in place where, yes, you can transfer, but if you're trying to transfer, right, you transfer this year and you want to transfer again, then you're going to have to sit out. Now, you just can't just jump. Like, it just becomes kind of disgusting. So let's see. But I don't see anything changing regarding the transfer portal. But I do agree there has to be some kind of strict regulations regarding that.
Yeah, no doubt. Seth also said Notre Dame losing to North Texas would be great to see.
No, it will happen because they that's who they lose to.
Hey, speaking of Notre Dame, this does also the fact that there would be no automatic bids. That means that there's a good chance unless Notre Dame makes a changes to how they schedule their seasons, we might not. When we go to 23, we might not ever see Notre Dame in a playoff again.
They'll be in the top 20.
No, they'll be in. I mean, they'll be treated like a welcome mat, but they'll be getting
a welcome mat by North Texas.
And Southern Illinois.
I better not lose to North Texas. But shout out to Gucci Viper. Mike Legend said the plus team is decided by a hot dog eating contest. Yeah, this is great. Good stuff. All right, final topic of the day before we get out of here. D-line position grade, ladies and gentlemen. We did the running backs last week. We gave them a B+ overall. Defensive line, this is a group that there may be some question marks. Who knows? Y'all get y'all markers out. Give us your grades too in the chat. By the way, if you haven't liked the video, if you haven't done that already, share it. But go ahead, give us your grades as well. Lich, we're gonna start with you with this one. The D-line position grade.
Real quick, Ross. Hold on, Lich. Ross. Yes, I did say that was a goaltender, by the way. He asked if anybody asked me if that was goaltender. Yeah.
We did. Yeah, he did admit that.
All right.
Voice of College Football Michigan will be live at 8 p.m. tonight. Show some support for John and TJ and everyone. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Go ahead, Lich.
Well, it's hard to read. I haven't done a whole lot of research into our depth chart for this season, but from what I remember hearing about about who we ended up picking up.
I'm gonna pull it up here. I'll help you out. I guess we just popped into the chat.
Oh, it's old mods.
Sticks, you here just in time for the D-line position grade, man.
He was waiting for it.
The what?
Defensive line position grade.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I will yield my time to Sticks. I'll let Sticks go.
All right. Hold on, Sticks. I'm trying to get this list up here so we can see it, so everybody can see it.
So let's before we do that, let's start with who left. Right. Who's left from? So we lose Derek Moore, who was our best defensive line player. He was an edge. We lose Jay Sean Barham, who was the other edge. We lose Ray Sean Benny, and we lose my man Trey Williams. So that's already 4 guys right off that. Is TJ Guy got another year of eligibility?
I believe so.
I'm pretty sure TJ Guy is gone, right? He's
I
out.
think he's gone. Yeah.
Because I saw something where I'm like, he has another year. But yeah, I just want to make sure. All right. And he's gone. So there you go. So that's five. Five players on the D line gone. Key contributors, by the way.
All right, so this is a projected starting defensive line for Michigan right now. I'll read it off. At edge, you got Marshall, and I believe that's Henry Daly. Henry Daly, right, from the transfer from Utah. And then in the middle at the defensive tackles, we got Eno Etta and then Pierce at tackle. Those are the projected starters. And that's not a bad starting lineup, right?
Right.
Marshall is a bit unproven.
Yes.
Etta, we still waiting for the best of Etta. Pierce, I like what he was doing towards the end of last season. And then Henry Daly, we know if he's healthy, he's a game wrecker. What y'all think about that?
But yes, Sticks.
Oh, I like the Pierce. Like you said, Marshall, I'm not necessarily sold on just yet. I got to see more out of him, see what he can do, because again, and again, we have a new coaching staff, so maybe they can pull what needs to be pulled out of him, or put him in the best position to shine at that position. So we'll see. Obviously, our strength of this defense is going to be probably, it could be Etta, depending on how he shows up and if we can get his motor together. But it could be Etta, Pierce, and Daly will definitely be the ones that teams will have to worry about.
Yeah. By the way, once we get into like the two deep, there's people like Dom Nichols, Ida Paye, Carter Meadows, right? There's Blade, Patterson, Kanka, Davis. There's Moten, Pale. I'm sure I'm messing that name up. Pale. Vallejo. Vallejo, by the way, who we interview right here on the channel, who I think is going to be a dog. They got him like fourth on the depth chart at nose tackle. That's crazy.
Are these true freshmen? Like the blue is true freshman, right?
Blue is true freshman.
Hey, man, I would love to see some of those guys red shirt.
Yes, 1000%.
Just to get bigger. Like Meadows, I would definitely want him to red shirt for sure.
I don't think he's gonna red shirt.
I would love for him to do it. I know why he won't, but I would love for him to do it. Let him get his 4 games. And then let him sit back and just become a pure beast from the gym and just an athletic standpoint, and then welcome the world to him. And he still got 4 years of eligibility. I think that would be beautiful for him and his development in his career. But again, we are in the I need it now phase. So you know what I'm saying? It just depends on how it looks. But a lot of these guys could really benefit from being under these senior guys and strengthening and conditioning themselves to where you understand it's not confusing to you. You're not making mistakes now because you understand the system compared to as a freshman. I expect you to make mistakes, so I have to simplify the system for you.
Right.
Yeah. So,
what about do we expect Henry Daly to be available week 1?
That's a good question.
That's the $1 million question. I'm pretty sure we'll get some updates come spring game. I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna have something out there for us. I know he's not gonna play. I don't think he's gonna be ready yet, but hopefully he's doing some kind of running by that time.
Right.
But if I'm not mistaken, didn't the NCAA hiked up the amount of games they could play now, or that was being proposed?
I think it's proposed. I don't know if it went through yet, but I know what you're talking about, though, Maniac. Yeah. So what you think, Maniac? Though, would you rather him, fellas? I would rather him sit that first game and probably come in that second game.
Daily?
No. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I think he should warm up the first game. Who we playing game 1?
Western Michigan.
Yeah. I mean, at least get a couple reps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 2. Yeah, 2. I like that.
2 reps. 2 reps.
Yeah. No, this is, when you look at this, man, I'm gonna assume this is probably the position group. I have one of the biggest question marks for.
Ooh.
It's not no Daly. He just started walking. Okay, where we at? We late February.
We still might
Figure
be good.
March, April, May, June, July. Maybe July he start. August. Yeah, we don't know. Look,
he probably gonna start getting into activities probably August.
Correct.
So he might not be available.
So that's the thing. Sticks, that we might have to call on Carter Meadows earlier than what we want to, and he's gonna probably have to play. Especially if Daly is a no-go, and of course they not gonna put him. They're gonna put him on the pitch count. He's not gonna play 30, 40 snaps. They might play anywhere from 15 to 20, just to get his win. Trey Pierce and Eno Etta. Eno Etta was a highly regarded recruit coming out, man. We expected a lot from him, and he just hasn't been, anything. Let me not say he just hasn't lived up to the potential yet. And that hopefully this coaching staff could get him up and ready and going. Trey Pierce, hopefully he could start looking much better. And the beauty about, Witt, we know why he did. He has split the coaching duties regarding the D-line. We have a D tackle, Coach Black from Vanderbilt, and then my guy, the DN's coach.
Lewis Powell.
So I think we're going to see a better D-line. How much? I don't know. And we're going to need them, man. If Michigan is going to make a playoff run, our D-line has to be close to elite. I'm not saying they have to be elite, but it has to be close to elite if we're going to make a playoff run with that schedule, guys.
Yeah, we definitely, because our weak point is going to be our linebackers right now. That's where we're weak.
Yeah.
We're not
I agree.
strong. So our secondary is a strong suit, and our linemen can be a strong suit. But the linebacking core is where we're going to have a few headaches, and especially if Boateng is playing. It's again he's got to get. I think with the linebacking culture that we're going to have now, and just in general with the coaching staff, I think they're going to make strides that they just possibly couldn't make because of the previous coach staff. No shade, but just being honest, I feel like with Whittingham's staff, they're there to do a job, and they're going to do their job to the best of their ability. And so I'm going to give them that. And so while these guys are going to make leaps, I just feel like from what I've seen previously is where I'm just unsure at this moment.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so here we go. We at that time where we got to give a grade. I'll kick it off. So I think that there's a lot of potential on this defensive line. I like Marshall. I think he has a monster year this year. I like Henry Daly. Unfortunately, we don't know when he's going to be able to play. Etta is a question mark more than anything for me right now. Pierce is a proven commodity. I think he's going to have a good season. Dom Nichols might be the one to look out for. That's going to be a name I think you need to look out for. In fact, he might get the reps until Henry Daly can go, and he might be able to make a name for himself. So with all that said, I'm gonna give us a C. I gotta give the defensive line a C right now because there's a lot of question marks. Right?
I agree.
Even in the guys that have been here, there are question marks. So I'm gonna give it a C. Now on potential, this thing could be a monster. And I think right now, Pierce and Marshall probably our best linemen that can play initially. So I'm gonna give it a C. Solid C. Maniac, what you give it?
Right on the money, my brother. C makes sense. And the reason I'm not giving it a B is because I don't think Daly's gonna be ready. So, like you said, a lot of these guys are somewhat unproven. Potential, we know potentially, but potential doesn't win games. You got to go out there and prove it that you like that. Nate Marshall, we know he's a French 5-star. He needs to play like it this year. Dominic Nichols, he's a 4-star. He got the size, man. He got the athleticism. He just got to put it together. The D tackles, Etta. Come on, man. This is the year. So until I see it, definitely a C. Without a doubt, man. I'm going to give our D-line a C, man. And hopefully this is the wild card of our defense and they just ball out this year. But for now, a C, no doubt.
Yep. Shout out JLJ. He says Nichols has to step up. Lich Max, what you giving the D-line grade?
You know, like you said, there's way too many questions to really give it a super high grade. There's so much potential on the defensive line that we could easily say off potential alone that B plus A. But with all of the questions that we have and all of the unproven talent that we have, I think a C minus to a C is pretty accurate. Because like if our entire line was healthy, ready to go day one, I'd say C plus easy. But right now, I think I'm looking more towards like C minus C area.
Yeah, no doubt. Old man on the sticks.
Yeah, I'm with everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a C, but I'm gonna go with C with an asterisk.
Okay.
And the reason why I put the asterisk there is from what we're talking about, because we could be a C rolling in here without Daly, but if Daly plays, we could easily be a B minus.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Or B plus even, like, you know. And then again, like Johnny just said, if Nickel stands up and then we got Marsh playing good and sealing that edge and causing pressure, this thing could be like you just took a test and got 100 on a grade that gave 40% weight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you in here A minus B, like, you know what I'm saying, B plus type deal. So I go with a C with an asterisk for right now, though.
Yeah.
Look at Seth's last comment.
No, we don't do asterisks.
Yeah.
Oh, because of you know, the spy.
I was natty. I was natty. Could I hate it?
Right.
Of course.
No,
man.
I think this is a solid list. Obviously, it's a lot of good names on this roster at the defensive line spot, bro. Because I believe in Vallejo. He hasn't proven a thing. That's why we can't go too crazy there. Carter Meadows obviously is him. We can't go too high. He hasn't proven anything. But there's a lot of talent on this team without a doubt.
How do you pronounce that? Leia?
Vallejo. Oh,
no.
Oh, you mean Leia Aya? I don't know.
Leia. Ooh.
Leia Aya.
I gotta
By the way, I think he's another Utah transfer.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He gonna call.
He's got potential.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. That's a good rotation piece, if anything.
Yo, we didn't talk about Moten. He can be, a problem. It's guys on the roster for sure. By the way, shout out to Hammond. Remember, Hammond was a big deal a couple years ago. We got him. I believe he's from Ohio. He hasn't really played, but he's a big dude. I think he's like 6'7", 6'8", big dude, bro. And he doesn't play, but whatever.
Yeah, I just hope this staff get these guys up to speed, man. If you look at the run all the way from 21 even to 24, the season where we didn't do good. Sharon's first year, we had good D line.
Yeah,
and that's where it starts, man. The trenches, right? Look at Miami, look at Indiana. All good teams, man, have elite or close to elite D lines, and we're gonna need. I think potentially we can be, but I'm not gonna jump off that. I'm not gonna jump off the bridge yet, man. The guys got to prove it. But we did get a very good D-line class coming in, man. So I think the future is bright, man, without a doubt.
I think the one player that I want to see kind of step out of the shadows and into the spotlight is Eric Paella. I want to see him do something, really make a name for himself this season. Because I think this is close to his last season. I believe he's got either this is his last or he's got another one after this. I don't remember where he is on his eligibility, but I definitely want to see him actually get out there and make a name for himself on the field this season.
No doubt. No, I'm with you. Eric Paella is a name that I want to see step up. Shout out to DK all day. He says, "Yo, good evening, gentlemen. Chat, hit that like hype on your way in. Go Blue spring game. Be there or be square. Yes, sir. By the way, DK was at the last spring game. He chopped it up with us. Got some souvenirs to take home. By the way, we are going to be giving away things from the channel. Be there this year. Last year, it didn't quite make it in time. We got them in a box sitting next to me right now. We're giving them away this year. So you be there, you get one. All right. Gentlemen, look, it's time. It's that time where we bid you adieu. Sticks made it in late, but he got here, and we appreciate that. Lich Max, tell the people what you got going on, where they can find you.
Well, you can find me at Between the Hashes Fridays. We're still working out some channel details, but we'll be coming back here soon. You can also find me everywhere at Lich Max on all platforms. If you can't find me there, I'm probably not there. And you can also every Monday, right here on the best Michigan podcasting channel, dare I say, best sports podcasting channel in the world.
Yes, sir.
The Maize Out Mondays, brought to you by the Maize Out crew, Maize Out Sports crew.
Absolutely.
Find me right here.
No doubt about it. Sticks, tell the people what you got going on, where they can find you.
Man, you can find me in class. God,
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing, bro.
Right.
I'm out here trying to get to it. But either way, Old Man on the Sticks. You can find me at I was about to say Old Man on the Sticks. No, it's not that.
I do that too.
Man, it's because and it escapes me, but it's the Old Head Podcast. I mean, Old Head Sports Talk is the channel, man. I'm out there just kicking it. We'll be coming back, just trying to knock this school thing out as usual. You know what I'm saying? And then getting ready for my son to go to college. So I'm in the gym trying to, you know what I'm saying, get my weight up because, you know what I'm saying, I might need to be at your nearest Chip and Dale to make sure he get through college. But either way, man, y'all can find me there, man. Y'all know what it is.
Yes, sir. My guy, your guy, the Maniac. Tell people where they can find you, what you got going on.
Yes, sir. You see it. Go Blue _Maniac _24 on Instagram. That will lead you to all my other social media outlets. And of course, being hated by Ohio State fans on all podcasts, just the way I like it.
Yes, sir. And as for me, you can find me at Sir_Thrizzleton on Twitter. Follow the channel, The Most Sports or Maize Out Sports everywhere. Till next time, stay angry, my friends. I'm up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. My ratings, they're about to go through the roof.
All right, now I'ma calm down. So I just don't get that all that Maize and that lock and all that. I just don't get it. So and how the
Oh my God, we're shutting the damn live down. Good night, everybody.